Okay, so the third house in astrology is actually so much more important than I think we put the importance on, because the third house is how we communicate, and it's also how we think. And it's like our interest, it's all of our thought processes, our intellectual interest, and it also deals with siblings and early childhood education and short-term distance traveling. But the points that I want to focus on is communication, because communication in the world is so important. Like, if you think about how much goes into communicating as humans and how important communicating is in this world, like, basically we wouldn't be able to live or survive if we couldn't communicate, like, at all. So not only is communication in the hub of the third house, but it's really ingrained throughout the entire chart, because the whole idea of life and existence is living but also communicating with your surroundings and interacting with your surroundings. So getting back to the third house and communicating, if you think about someone who, let's say, has Aquarius in their third house or ruling their third house, that's going to give them a very heavy Aquarius influence, even if they don't have any placements there. Because the way that Aquarius communicates, like, here's like an example. They're much more logical driven, because they're more oriented to like thinking in a logical way, more than emotional, because they do have that sense of detachment, because their perspective is very unique, and it comes from a place of like looking almost from like a bird's eye view of the group of like humanity, and like them knowing, or sometimes just thinking that they know what's best for everyone because of that logical based thinking. And they are very intelligent as well, but they also are so like people focused, even though, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean friendly or anything like that. So it makes them very innovative as well. So they're very unique and also a bit hard to understand. So when it comes to communicating, and you know, I see Aquarius as way more blunt and like kind of to the point, because they don't want to spend that much time beating around the bush or anything like that. They don't feel the need to do that, because they don't care so much about what other people think about them. They only care about how they think about them, because of that like unique nature that they have. So if you have someone who has an Aquarius third house versus someone who has a Capricorn third house, and so they may be, again, straight to the point because they're both Saturn ruled, based on the traditional. But let's say Capricorn third house can come off more like, the way they talk would be more practical. Like, they may talk more in a sense of, this needs to get done, this needs to get done, we need to do this so that this will be done. And it could also be like more authoritative and again, less emotional based, even though Capricorns do feel a lot. It's a bit complicated because they're like spiritual connection. And then if you have Cancer in the third house, you could have someone who is very emotional while they're talking and speaking and communicating, and the way they think and perceive things, in a very emotional sense. A Pisces third house could speak in a very possibly confusing way, very imaginative way. I know some Pisces third house, and for me, I have a Libra third house. It is very different styles of communicating, so there can be misunderstandings. So I just wanted to put the importance on like the third house and the sign that rules your third house, in the whole sign system, and the importance on that, because like someone who has a Scorpio third house, and let's say they're a Libra sun, they're not going to speak as harmoniously as a Libra third house is going to speak. So that could be surprising to some people. So yeah, share what sign rules your third house.